since it was just review anyways. Okay, we are recording now. All right, go back to the slides so that you can have them. Oops, wrong one. Sorry about that. There we go. So let me put my slide up. Nope, there it is. All right. I can't see everyone on this, but hold on one second. I'm reading the top part of that thing. Okay, come here. All right, you guys, are you still with me? Because I'm just gonna have to listen for you, okay? Somebody talk. Okay.
Yeah, we're here.
All right, are the slides moving? Come here just a second, because I had to switch the page here and I think I messed it up. I can't see where they're together, like at least half of them over on this side. What happened?
You're admitting Shay, let her in.
Oh, okay.
Write it down. What did you do now?
I just changed, so I can't see that other screen with them at all. I wanted to put it at least on the side right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what'd you do?
I don't know, I clicked something because I I needed to do something else. Just unshare and then do it all over again. Go back to the Zoom. There you go. Okay. Oh, you have to hit both of them? I'll take that off because I did that by accident. Unshare it.
I don't know what you did.
I know. Go back to share. Or stop sharing and then
Look.
do it again.
You did it.
I know.
You should be able to do it.
Well, I don't, so.
Hold
Because
on.
you just click on something like this. Are you recording again?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So sorry. Where are you going with my book?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm borrowing it.
Okay, so we just went through this as a review, right? Yes, I can see some of you. There's a couple of people up on this right side, Kayla and who's lost money?
Brenda.
Brenda. I need to see your faces, okay? Hi, there you go. Are you cooking, Brenda?
No, it's because since I have my like desk right here, it's like I have to like look.
Okay, I've seen it. Okay, Kayla, I can't see anything but a painting. Back here. Yeah, we just finished that one. Okay. So now we're on projection.
Is it fine if I'm just like right here?
Yeah, I can see your head, but Kayla, I don't see anything but a painting. So if you're not, if your face is not there, I'm not gonna be able to give you credit. I can't see you. She's just not answering. Kayla, if you want credit. Let me mark that off here. Over here. My face. All right. Are you done? Go ahead. Well, I need the book, you're changing the pages. All right, projection. We have low projection from 0 to 30 degrees. Medium projection is from 30 to 60 degrees, and high projection is 60 to 90. It's also known as elevation. Okay, it's the angle at which the hair is held in relation.
Where?
What? Who's yelling what?
Do you just want to wait because I have class right now,
You have
and
what?
then I have to. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I wasn't in mute.
Yeah, stop me in the middle of my lecture. It's okay. What are you
I'm so
doing?
sorry.
Okay. So projection is also known as elevation. It's the angle at which the hair is held in relation to the curve of the head prior to and while you're cutting. The most common projection angles in hair sculpting are 0 degrees, 45 degrees, and 90 degrees. That's a test question, by the way. Projecting below 90 degrees builds weight, and angles 90 degrees and above begin to layer the hair and diminish the weight. Okay, we're ready for our next part here. Okay. All right. So it's basically giving you an illustration right here. The projection for a solid form, which is 0 degrees, okay, is also known as natural fall. Neither is lifted nor is it moved towards the scalp. So you're going to keep it as close to the body or the head as possible. Then you go into the projection for graduated form. This is the most standard projection. It's known as 45 degrees. The higher the projection angle, the greater the amount of graduated texture. So it's going to be more layered. Okay. Let me ask you something, see if you're paying attention. Could I use that graduated form around my bang area? Anyone?
Around your what you cut out?
The bang area right here?
Yes,
Yes, I could. Okay, I just want to make sure you're paying attention. Yes, because you would want some of the layers up there a little bit lifted so it's not such a blunt cut in the front. Okay, moving on. All right. This is your increased layered form. Okay. A 0 degree, 45 or 90 projection angle can be used. The projection angle of the stationary design line is the most important because it establishes where all the lengths are going to converge. Okay. Uniform layered, this is the projection angle used at 90 degrees from the curve of the head. It's also known as normal projection. It's the way the hair just lays. Okay, and then you have your square form. The hair is projected straight up or straight out, and this will maintain longer lengths or corners resulting in a square shape. Okay, can you see the illustration above where it's giving that square look? Straight up this way or it's straight out this way. Okay. Does anybody know what that form is called? That planar? All right. Moving on to the next page here, we're going to do position of the fingers in shears, right? Okay, this refers to the position of the fingers in the shears relative to the base parting. Okay, we have two of them, parallel and non-parallel. So your parallel, the fingers are going to be positioned at an equal distance away from the parting. It results in the purest reflection of the chosen line. It's also known as parallel cutting. Your non-parallel, your fingers are positioned unequally away from the parting, and it's used to create exaggerated length increases or to blend between contrasting lengths. So if I was going from a shorter version up here and trying to take it long, very long here, this is going to be my over directing it. Okay, so I'm going from shorter to longer to blend it. Okay. Our next area is the design line, and we have two of them. It's stationary and mobile. Okay. Your stationary guideline is a guide to which all lengths are directed. It's used for progression of the lengths in opposite direction. It's also used to cut solid and increased layered forms and to achieve a weight area in the graduated forms. Okay. A mobile design line is a movable guideline. It's sometimes called a traveling guideline. You take a small amount of the previously cut hair used as your length guide to cut subsequent partings. Basically, I use this little term, I drop off a friend and I pick up a friend. So as I'm moving around the head, I've got my design line here. I'll take a little snip and then I'll drop some of that and use it and pick up some more. So drop off a friend and pick up a friend. Okay, is what you're doing all the way around the head. So it's used to cut graduated layer forms and square combination forms. Do you understand this? between the two, the stationary and the mobile guidelines? What would happen if I use the stationary guideline on this illustration right here? What type of form would I be getting? You only have 4, basically, that we're talking about: solid, graduated, increased, layered, and uniform. So which one of those forms would I get if I use that stationary guide, just the way it is right there?
Increased layer.
Increased layer, good, yes, perfect. Okay. All right. We're going to talk about growth patterns, facial hair, nape variations, hair texture considerations, and cutting dry versus cutting wet. So it's important that you serve to check your work and enhance the final results. So we're checking for accuracy and balance in that hair. You're looking at growth patterns, facial hair and nape variations, hair texture considerations, and then again, cutting dry versus wet. Why would I cut something dry as opposed to wet? Give me one of the reasons why. How about, I'm not too sure how short I want to cut it or how long I want to leave it. Somebody might have a cowlick, right? So a lot of times I will cut the cowlick dry and then the rest of it I will cut wet because I know that's going to shrink and not sure how much it's going to shrink. So here's one of those growth patterns that they're talking about: a widow's peak, the cowlick, or the whorl. Okay, natural growth patterns are determined by the angle and the direction in which the hair grows out of the scalp. Okay, you're going to adapt cutting techniques to accommodate that natural growth pattern. So the widow's peak will leave the front area longer to avoid a spiking effect. A cowlick, you're going to have a strong growth pattern that moves either to the right or to the left. Or you have a whorl, which is a circular directional growth on either side of the nape or the crown. So pretty much your cowlicks are going to be in the front here most of the time, and that whorl is going to be at the back here, but not just set in stone, okay, but that's mainly where there are. All right, sideburns and neck, okay. Your natural transition from a man's haircut to his face is where the sideburns meet. The nape is the hair that covers the area at the back of the neck, and nape variations can be customized. Last week I was talking about people's design line at the bottom. It can even be a U, an upside down U. It can be a W. It can be a V. All of those are different types of growth patterns that you're using, so it actually works with the hair growth instead of fighting against it. I know this one time, my son has a huge cowlick in the front right here. Okay, so he asked me one time, how do I get rid of that cowlick, Mom? I'm like, you can't. You're kind of born with that. You're gonna have to stick with it. So the next thing I know, he comes out of the bathroom and he has cut a hole, basically. He shaved this part of his head down to the scalp. I said, what did you do? He goes, I wanted to get rid of that cowlick and now I don't have one. And I'm like, it's going to grow back, Jason. He didn't understand that at the time. It's kind of funny though. All right, so hair texture considerations. Okay, we can either work with the grain or against the grain. Which one do you think is going to be easier? Working with the grain a little bit easier? Yeah. So when you're clipper cutting curly or tightly curled hair, you may choose to cut with or against the grain depending on the desired result and the hair growth pattern. So when you're cutting with the grain, you're going to cut in the direction the hair grows and is trained to fall. Cutting with the client's natural wave pattern. This is suited for clients who wear their hair with natural wave patterns. If you're going to cut against the grain, you're cutting in the opposite direction that the hair grows. So you're going to get more even lengths. Okay. Cutting dry versus cutting wet. Okay. So the preference is how the hair falls. So you're going to observe the shape. Okay. Preference and situation determines whether to cut wet or dry or both. Hold on one second. Okay. Let that student in. Okay, you're able to see how the hair falls naturally. You want to observe the shape of the haircut as it's created. See where it actually falls. There we go. All right, check what you know. You're going to help here, okay? True or false? The sculpting procedures are section, position head, part, distribute, project, position the fingers and shears, and the design line. Is that true or false? Yes or no? No one's gonna answer? Come on, you can answer this one. Is there 7 there, Elizabeth? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. True. Okay. All right, the second one is true or false. The interior is the area below the crest.
True.
True? The interior is where? It's like right here, right? I guess, and the crest is right below it. So the interior is the area below the crest. I think it's a false one because it's just the opposite, right? Or is it? The interior, yeah, because the interior is on top and the crest is below it. So that would be a false, right? Okay, 3, many successful haircuts begin with. Anyone want to take a wild guess on that one? Okay,
A consultation.
good. Consultation. All right. 4, the lines that subdivide sections of hair in order to separate, distribute, and control the hair while cutting is called?
Guidelines.
Now the guideline would be your cutting line, but I think the lines that subdivide sections would be partings or sectioning, right? Hold on, I'll let one other student in, Vanessa. So you think that's right? The lines that subdivide sections of hair in order to separate will be your partings, right? Okay, let's figure this one out. 5, distribution is the direction the hair is combed in relation to the base.
Growth.
Parting?
Parting. Yeah.
Yeah, direction, distribution is the direction the hair is combed in relation to its base parting. I think that one's it. Okay, let's check the rest of these here. 6, the hair is neither lifted away nor moved towards the scalp in natural fall. Okay, so it says, let me see, the hair is neither lifted nor towards the scalp in natural fall. This is supposed to be a true or false. I don't even understand this one. The hair is neither lifted away nor moved towards the scalp in natural fall. Well, natural fall just means the hair, the way the hair assumes naturally. Anyone have an answer for that one? Because I don't. All right, we'll move on and then figure it out when we get to the end. All right, a non-parallel finger shear position is used to create exaggerated length increases to blend between contrasting, we just went through this one. Contrasting, let me see. Contrasting. Anyone have an answer? While I'm looking at that answer. Removable guideline, okay. To blend increase in. Just shut up. No, no one's got an answer for that one? We're like losing it here. How come no one's answering this? All right. Going on to the next.
Partings.
Partings, when a non-parallel finger shear position is used to create exaggerated length increases to blend contrasting partings. We'll try it. Okay. 8, when progression of lengths in the opposite direction is desired, the chosen design line is mobile or stationary. How about stationary? Would it not be stationary? Okay, let's try a movable guide that consists of small amounts of previously cut hair is called. Anyone want to take this one? This one's an easy one. How about mobile? And then 10, a strong circular or directional growth pattern on either side of the nape or crown is called. Okay. Do you remember? These were your whorls and calyx. And so which one was this one? Strong circular or directional growth pattern on either side of the nape or crown is called, let's just say a whorl. Let's try that with a whorl. All right, let's see what if we're right on any of these. Okay, so it was true for number 1, the sculpting procedures or section, position the head, part, distribute, project, position finger and shears, and the design line. 2, it's a false. The interior is the area below the crest. 3, many successful haircuts begin with, sectioning. We thought it was consultation, it's sectioning. Okay, 4, the lines that subdivide sections of hair in order to separate, distribute, and control the hair while cutting are called partings. Okay, distribution is the direction the hair is combed in relation to its base parting. We have those right. This is where we got a little confused here. The hair is neither lifted nor moved towards the scalp in natural fall. Projection, that's what they were asking for. Okay, a non-parallel finger shear position is used to create exaggerated length increases to blend contrasting lengths instead of partings. All right. 8, when the progression of lengths in the opposite direction is desired, the chosen design line is stationary. Got that one right. And the movable guide that consists of small amounts of previously cut hair is called a mobile design line. And then a strong circular directional growth pattern on either side of the nape or crown is called a whorl. So we didn't do too bad. Okay, so moving on to the next section of this. Okay, so your review for this is the sculpting procedures. Okay, they're used to create predictable results. There's section, position the head again, parting, distribute, project, position your fingers and shears, and design line. Believe this or not, you guys, we used to have these little sheets that would sit up on the corner of your mirror on the clinic floor. And once you started to introduce yourself to your client, you had to go through these procedures before you could actually cut the hair. So you'd have to tell the teacher and she'd have to mark off each one of those to make sure that you've done those before she would give you the guideline. So just be glad you don't have to do it that way anymore. Okay, sectioning. This divides the hair into the workable areas for your control. You want to position the head, directly influences the fall of the hair. It's going to include upright, which is what we see when we're looking at the head, forward, or tilted. Okay. Your partings, they subdivide sections of hair to separate, distribute, and control the hair while you're cutting. This includes horizontal, vertical, diagonal, convex, and concave partings. Okay. Okay. Continue on the sculpting procedures. Distribute. This means distribution is the direction the hair is combed in relation to its base parting. This is going to include natural, perpendicular, shifted, or directional. You have projection, which is the angle at which the hair is held prior to and while cutting. It includes the common angles of 0 degrees, 45 degrees, and 90 degrees. The position of your fingers and shears. Okay, the position of your fingers and shears relative to its base parting will include parallel and non-parallel. And the last one is your design line. This is the artistic pattern or length guide used while cutting. Any straight or curved line from the celestial axis can be used. This includes stationary and mobile design lines. All right. Any questions on this one so far? Alejandro, what are you doing? Is that a flashlight?
What you talking to?
I said, what was that, a flashlight? I just saw this little yellow or white light that came up on the screen.
No, it's my drink.
Oh, the bottom of it just lit up. Okay, haircutting considerations. So we're gonna check growth patterns to consider. We have to look at widow's peaks, calyx, or whorls. So if someone has one of those, what would you end up doing? At least the basics for this. Probably leave that area a little bit longer, right? Work with it or work against it, either way. How about your sideburns and nape variations? You're gonna adapt these to the client's face and neck shape, right? Working with it or against it. Cutting dry versus wet hair. Dry cutting allows you to see how the growth patterns and textures influence the finished look and how the shape is gonna develop. So. Oh, look at that. We can't be finished with this chapter already. All right. Let me close this one up. Hold on 1 second here. There it is. I'm like, where's my cursor? Okay. Stop. Okay. So far we've gone through the 7 sculpting skills. So you each have your book out, right? So I'm just gonna pick on each one of you. So let's see if you're paying attention. And you're gonna give me the definition of that, one of those 7 sculpting skills. So everybody has their books out, right? Yeah, okay.
Which book is it for the barbers?
Same thing, you have the same sculpting skills, correct? All 7 of those? Am I right?
I can't find them
You can't find them, we just went through them.
in my book.
Yes, okay, so in your textbook or your study guide, were you filling in your study guide? When we were
Yeah,
doing-
but it doesn't have like
Okay, so
the
go
definition.
in your textbook, you're gonna go to page 286 or 287. Okay. Did
For
you
the
find-
barbers as well?
The barbers, let me see, what I'm gonna find what page yours is on, hold on. Yours starts on page 105B.3, so it's on page 38 in that booklet. Actually, it's page 39 because it starts on 38, but it's 39 in your work. In your foundational cuts in this book. You see it? Okay, so is everybody on the same page with me now?
286 and 287 are two different things.
On 286 and 287, it should say the 7 sculpting skills.
It says increased layered form haircut.
Okay, turn the next page then. And what's on 287?
Increased layered form procedure.
Are you on the textbook?
Yeah, online.
Okay. And it's 286 and 287 is not the same? What's on page 288? What's on that one?
Graduated form haircut.
Okay, scroll a couple of pages and see what happens. Do you have the 7 sculpting skills? One of these books should match on your. It should be like in 9.3. Did you find 9.3 in your lecture book, in your textbook, I mean?
I'm gonna go to the top where I can see the sections of the.
Okay.
Yeah, 285.
Guide, okay, on the study guide, you should be at 246, if you're looking at that. If you got confused on which book you're looking at. Right?
The textbook doesn't really come up with it, but in my packet it has it. It just doesn't have like definitions to write in.
Okay, so does it have the sculpting? Seven sculpting?
Yeah, it says procedures. I've been trying to find the stuff on like
Okay, so,
Quizlet because it's not coming up in the book.
okay, she's telling me the book in this doesn't match on the seventh.
Because it's ROP books.
Yeah.
It's probably why.
Oh, okay. All right, so just hang in when you can fill them in when we talk about it, okay? Because it's just review. So I'm gonna give you the first one. This is sectioning, right? That's the first thing that we're supposed to do out of the 7. Okay? Is to section the hair. All right? The second one, what are we supposed to be doing? Shay, what's the second sculpting skill?
Position the head.
Position the head. Okay, good. All right, number 3, Judith.
I don't know.
What was that?
Wait, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. What did you say? Number
I'm not really sure. The third one.
I still can't hear anything that you're saying. This is the third sculpt.
I'm not really sure what the third one is.
Okay. How about, let's see, Alejandro, what have you got for the third one?
You parted?
Yep, you part it. Okay, so 1 is sectioning, 2 is position the head, the third is to part it. Okay, Ruben, what's number 4? Who's ever on Ruben Reyes? That one right there.
Is it your guideline?
Uh-huh. What's the 4th sculpting skill?
To make your guideline, no?
No, this is to distribute the hair.
Oh, distribute, okay.
All right. The 5th one, Jessica. Hi. What's the 5th sculpting skill?
Project.
Yes, that's right. Good. All right, number 6, Valerie. Hi, Valerie. Can you give me the 6th sculpting skill?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Can you tell me the 6th sculpting skill? We've just gone through all 7 of them. What's the 6th one?
Oh, I just got on, so wasn't here.
Okay. Haley, do you know where we're at yet?
I found them on Quizlet. It's the finger shear position.
Correct. Good, good. And then Nick, what's our last one, number 7?
I was in the restroom. Just got back.
So what's the 7th sculpting skill though? The last one.
I don't know. I was in the restroom when you guys went over them.
The whole thing? Okay, so number 1 was section, 2 is position the head, 3 is to part it, 4th one is to distribute, the 5th one was to project, 6th one is position of the fingers and shears, and then the last one is your design line. Okay, that's where you start the first cut. All right? So everyone knows what those 7 sculpting skills are, right? So guess what your homework's gonna be, because we just went through this, all right? Your homework for tonight is the definition of the 7 sculpting skills, okay? It's exactly what I just went through just now. I went through every single one of them. All right, so that's what your homework is tonight. Check this one here. Connie's gonna come back in here and take roll in a minute. So homework is to define the 7 sculpting skills. So everyone's familiar with them right now, right? You know what I'm asking you to do, correct? Okay, so you're gonna have to define them, give the definition of each one of those, take a picture of it and send it to the zip or text it to the school. Okay? All right, I'm gonna take roll for the end of this, okay? So if I don't call your name, you're gonna have to tell me. Judith, Alejandro, Leslie, Ruben, Max, Elizabeth, Haley, Nick, Jessica, Lexi, Lauren, Kayla, Samantha, Isabella, Brenda, Alyssa, Shay, Vanessa, Enos, am I saying that right? Okay, and that's it. Oh, there's one more. I can't pronounce her name. So who did I not call? Miss Blanco? Yeah, I didn't get yours. Okay. But I have you. I saw the name and I just can't pronounce your first name. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And
I don't
embarrassed.
think you called my name.
Who are you?
Valerie.
Yes, I did.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. So, okay, I got one more. Alexia Ruiz. Okay. All right, so who's ever going to stay on, don't like log out. You can have up until 2 o'clock. Those of you that are sticking around, so you'll have a little break until 2, okay? Just don't log off completely, okay? Leave
I have a
the,
question for the homework.
go ahead.
Do you want us to just list what we went over, or do you want us to define each one?
I want you to define each one,
Okay.
okay? So you're gonna have to give the description of what sectioning is, right? Okay, that's the first one, correct? Good. All right, does anybody else have any questions on what you're supposed to do? No? Okay. So again, leave your computer on if you're gonna stay on for the second half of this when Miss Connie comes back. All right, the rest of you can log off, but if you're sticking around, just, you gotta break till 2 o'clock, okay? Okay, I'll be right back. Yes, I did.
All right, let me have it so I can go in the,
Okay, it's ready. I just want us to stay on.
yeah. Yeah, because I gotta go in there. I gotta
Here,
change.
this is our homework. They're supposed to define each one of the 7 sculpting.
Oh, we already had to do that.
Well, that's what they had to do today.
Some of them didn't do it.
Some of them did, yeah.
Okay. Recording.
Okay,